Hello, this is the Daily Forex Report for August 1st. We're going to take a look at the U.S.-Japanese yen pair first. This pair closed lower, did break previous areas of support on Friday, but pulled back significantly to close above those areas. We did get a small bit of gap down. It has retraced that already. We are looking for this pair to continue overall moving sideways with a bias that is slightly to the downside. Look for it to potentially go as high as 87.41, possibly as low as 85.38. Look for some resistance around 87.00 and look for some support around 85.95. Now looking at the Euro-USD pair, this pair closed down on Friday, did create an inside bar. We are looking for a breakout on that. This pair overall is moving sideways with a bias to the upside. Look for it to potentially go as high as 131.91, possibly as low as 128.95. Look for some resistance around 131.05 and look for some support around 129.75. Now looking at the pound US dollar pair, this pair gapped at the open, did gap fairly significant, about 20 pips. We are looking for it to retrace that gap prior to Friday's close. This pair is moving to the upside, biased is up. Look for it to potentially go as high as 158.87, possibly as low as 154.57. Look for some resistance around 157.50 and look for some support around 156.62. Let's take a look at the US Swiss. This pair closed up on Friday, did break as far as the lows, the previous session's low, as well as some previous supports. Closed higher though overall, very large range, but a very small body as far as open to close. We are looking for, we did get a slight gap down, not very significant, but we are looking for it to retrace. Look for this pair to continue moving sideways. Look for it to possibly go up to 104.65 and hit some resistance there. Look for it to hit some support around 103.50. Okay, well, as far as news announcements go, there are no significant news announcements for tomorrow, Monday. None of them really hit until Tuesday, so definitely look for that. As far as this particular pair goes, the U.S. Swiss, if we do get a pullback into this range, I mean, the market's been moving sideways for a good while. If we get a pullback back into this range, look for a break of this high and look for it to come on up to this point. I know that's a fairly large run from currently where it's at, but we've had large runs very close in the past, very close. If you look, we have one right here that was a significant drop to the downside. So this pair does have a slight bias to the downside, so it could continue to move down at some point. But right now, looking for a break above here and looking for it to take out that low. What that looks like from a pip standpoint is about a 74 pip move. So that's something to look for during this next session if it does pull back and we stay within those within our trend that's been moving sideways, or sideways trend here. Look for the Euro USD to break out. It did create an inside bar. Let me zoom in a little bit. At the on Friday, we are looking for a breakout of that. Let me draw some lines real quick just to show you kind of what we're looking at. If it does move to the downside, we definitely could, which it gapped up, so the odds are that it will come down, at least to fill the gap, if not possibly further. We have an area here, maybe a little bit lower, of support and resistance that would, here as well, that you could look to be filled. Essentially look for that gap, which is about a 20 pip gap or so, to be filled. To the upside, you got to back out a little ways to get an idea of where potentially it could go, because if you notice, this high is right in line with this low and real close to this high. So from a support and resistance standpoint, we have to go a little bit further back. This would be a good area right here to place it, and then the next area would be up in this area as well. There we go. So that is what we're looking for to the upside. Let me go ahead and draw one more trend line. If you take your trend line from this point up to here, you notice they all kind of converge in a similar area. Let me zoom in. So what you can look for is basically look for a buy to be generated upon the break of your high of the inside bar. Look to go long, come up to this point, potentially first exit, possible second exit, and third possible exit. So you have several exits after you get up to that point. First little jump is going to be about 154 pips, 200, and then 245 pips. So it's a good run, probably over several days. If we get a break to the upside, it would basically continue this run up we've had over the past several weeks or months. I mean, you look at this last month and it pretty much just went up from there. Not quite 1,000 pips, but it's definitely well on its way up around 800. So if this happens again, we could go through those numbers that we talked about very, very quickly. Well, that about does it for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.